Good morning. Good morning. This is Carrie Freeman, my left ear, and welcome. It's July 8th, and this is video 46. Now, it's different today. I just want to give you a little heads up. One of the subscribers wrote me and had gotten some runes because of me, and is kind of confused about them. So I've never really talked about the runes on my channel. I did 2 separate hours on the runes for Diane at Diane's Tarot and for her group, and she placed it in her Patreon, I think. It's not available to everyone. So I'm just gonna do a short dive today, just a little introduction that you might find interesting. And I am preparing, a juicy outline that, in terms of politics and what's going on, that I'll probably video tomorrow, Saturday morning at the latest. Okay, so that is coming because there's a lot going on. All right, so let me start with this. The runes are, they're kind of used like the tarot, but they're not as immediate as the tarot. You ask a question, you pull a couple of cards, and you've got that reading like right in front of you. But the runes are a little more cumbersome. They take a little more time. I happen to love them, and I will do them with friends. So what I want to show you first, and what I want to show this viewer, is that the runes I work off, this is a very old copy. It's the Book of Runes by Ralph Blum, B-L-U-M, and I'll talk about Ralph Blum in a few minutes. And then comes in this kind of little velvet bag, and these runes feel like stone. Let me just hold them up. That's the size. This one is the Rune of Disruption. I almost have them memorized now. And they fit in the palm of your hand, like they feel really good in the palm of your hand. And then here's another one. Okay, so that's just a little, visual. And they all come in this bag, and they make noise. And what I do is I develop a question, and I did do a question this morning before starting this that I'm going to share with you the results. A political question, actually. And I have these in my lap, and I get my energy on them, and when I feel ready, I go in, and often my fingers find a rune that just feels like pick me. It just pops out. Sometimes it often happens like right away. So, I just landed on this rune. Oh, and this rune is fascinating. This is the most fascinating rune that I just landed. Okay, it's blank, and you turn it around and it's blank. It is the only blank rune, and it means whatever you're asking is pretty much unknowable. And the message is wait on the will of heaven. I did not pull this rune for any questions today. I just pulled this rune, and I had meant to mention it's a little baffling. So there you go. Okay, so here we go. What are the runes? So I said the Book of Runes by Ralph Blum, and there is an online resource, and I'll paste it in the community page, so if you want to go there, you can look it up. So the runes are considered a divinity bridge between the self and the divine. And there are 25 stones, and I told you how they feel. They feel kind of rough and pleasant at the same time. And each one represents a condition, a story, a lesson, comments on a current conundrum. All right. Ralph Blum describes them as the magic of knowing ourselves. Now, consulting the runes enables one to bypass the limits of reason, as well as the power of habit and automatic thinking. So it just kind of goes shh over all that logical thinking stuff. It goes to energy. So while interacting with the runes, you are declaring a free zone. a free zone in which your energy and life are malleable. You're open, you're vulnerable to receiving. That's the way to go into them. They are a means of communicating with our subconscious minds. And you know, as a clinical hypnotherapist, I'm all about the subconscious mind. So this is one of the other reasons I love this. And you are consulting an oracle, a divinity, an unseen divinity, which, you know, pretty much everybody that you watch on YouTube that does this kind of thing, that's what, you know, we're all doing. We're consulting divinity. Now, the runes are different. They don't give you exact direct instruction, but rather they point your attention towards hidden factors, motivations, and an energy surrounding any given situation. And once you see and recognize these elements, become absorbed into the realm of choice. So you're never completely locked in. They evoke energy. That's the magic. I have had the most uncanny readings with clients at the table when we're together, just on my own. Like, I threw the runes this morning on a political question and I got an amazing answer. I can't wait to share it with you. I did it once, it's what came, ba-dum-bum. Can't wait to share it, and I'll share it in a minute, because this is gonna be kind of short. This is gonna be a long one. So when you pull them, they prove to be relevant to some part of what is happening and your question. So, as I said a minute ago, from my own experience, the runes have shown me uncanny coincidences piled upon uncanny coincidences. So there's a big history to the runes. I'm not going to go into it right now. I did before with Diane's people, but I think it could be a little boring for you. But they are thought to be modeled after the Latin alphabet, and they are thought to first have appeared in Southern Europe among the Germanic tribes, and the Vikings used them to navigate ships, and other natives use them like we're using them now for prophecy and advice and guidance. Now, they re-emerged in the 20th century via Ralph Blum. Ralph Blum, let me just say a few things about him. He received a degree in Russian studies from Harvard, and then he returned to do graduate work in anthropology. And around 1983, he encountered the runes by chance while doing research in England, and he has been working with them ever since. And I tell you, I love this book. This is the one I would recommend. So we're coming to the end now, and I'm going to share the reading with you in a minute. Like tarot, there are many different configurations to read runes. How I like to do it is, I like to do a quickie. No, not that kind of quickie. Where I pick one rune. I just want a quick ba-dum-bum, and I pick one rune. If it's really not clear, I'll pick a clarifier. But most of the time, I cover a subject by picking 3 runes. Boom, boom, boom. And I put them in order. The first one, the second one, the third one, because they're like a story. The beginning, the middle, and the end or culmination. This is what works for me. If you're just starting out, just play. Just play little games, ask simple issue questions, and pick one rune and see what you get. And then familiarize yourself with that particular rune. Read about it, because you don't have to work at memorizing. It just kind of comes after a while. I probably could pass a test where I could name almost all of them. I don't want to take the test, but I probably could. Now, here's something important. When you pick a rune, the rune may come out reversed. So here's a good one. This is the rune of strength. You see that? Now, if it came out reversed, it would look like that. Now, the reversed runes, people kind of dread them, but there are lessons, all right? So out of the 25 total runes, 9 read the same, whether you put them up or down or backward or forward, and they have no reverse. but 16 have a reverse, okay? Don't ask me why. Now, I just want to read you a note. A reversed rune is not cause for alarm, but an indication that care and attention are required. Reversed runes are information, and it can signal the presence of an opportunity or to challenge some aspect of your behavior. But the reverse rune will help you to become more conscious of the forces of dark and light, yin and yang. We know about that. And something the runes always advise, because they're gentle, consider the uses of adversity. Consider the uses of adversity. And I think, some of the benefits are, they do enhance intuition. They really do. And they cause you to go deep and create the story that you're looking at. They offer guidance. They're just fun. And a tool for growth that you can share with friends, okay? Now, let me share with you, and you can, I try to read, when I get up to like 8,000 followers, it might be difficult to read all the responses, but I really do right now, and I really enjoy them. So if you can ask a question, and I'll try to answer it, okay? All right, so let me just share with you. I talked about this before, but I did a brand new one this morning. At the end of May, I asked the runes how the Democrats in the Senate would do in 2022. And I did mention this in a previous reading, and I just want to remind you. The first rune that I got for the Dems in 22 is harvest, okay? That is the rune of harvest. Harvest doesn't have a reverse, it's just positive. And harvest is about 1 year. Isn't that incredible? Because we're just about 1 year from 2022, the primaries. So it's a beneficial outcome. Now that's the first one. The second one is strength, the one I just showed you. That now I can't find it because I put it, oh, there it is, strength. All right, now that strength is in the reversed position. Do not fear, okay? That rune is about terminations and new beginnings. See? So the reversed rune is not always bad news, because in this case, it means termination of some GOP senators and the beginning of some Democratic senators, which I feel in my gut, regardless of the runes. And then the final one in this story is signals. Signals. And it doesn't have a reverse either. And signals tell us there may be a gift. There is new life unfolding. That would be more Democrats in the Senate, taking the Senate. I get 3 to 4. I believe Warnock and, oh my God, I didn't write his name down. Warnock and John. Oh, forgive me. I know you'll write me and tell me. I know who he is. He's adorable. I love him. Those two guys are coming back. Okay? Anyway, so that was last May. All right, we're just going to let that go. I just wanted to go over that because it makes me feel so good. But this one, I was walking around this morning getting ready, and I thought, well, what's a good question? Since I'm doing this little demo, what's a good question? And I thought, well, ask the one that means a lot to you. So I did. And here's the question I asked. Will Merrick Garland charge the 45th president, ex-president, with inciting an insurrection? All right, I'm going to tell you. So I got another breakthrough. And breakthrough is what I got on the Senate in 22. Breakthrough, to remind you, it's just a yes. It's a breakthrough. It gets more interesting. The second rune is a rune of, well, it's opening. That's the rune of openings, but this is reversed. Don't panic. This rune is about a darkening, a closing of the light. Something is dying. And what immediately came to my left ear is, it's the GOP. Swear to God. In this rune, it says there is a failure to face up to a death, and this equals a loss. Clearly, this is about the GOP. Their inability, their refusal to acknowledge the truth and to put us in jeopardy, and their failure to face up to the metaphorical death of Donald Trump is going to cause loss. Now, the final rune, this is what really wraps it up. Fertility. We got fertility again. Okay, we got it with the Senate. Fertility. Now, reminding you, fertility is 1 year. The harvest is 1 year. So it appears to me, and I have felt this in my gut, that we're going to have to be very patient about 45 being charged with inciting the insurrection. A lot of people, including myself, have been very nervous about Merrick Garland. What's he doing? I think the fact that he's not saying anything could be very positive, because anything he would say would give ammunition to the other side. And he's probably sitting back and watching what happens in Georgia. Arizona just launched lawsuits against Trump and I think Giuliani that have to do with voting, the AG there. So the ground is being prepared, and it says a long season has come to term. Maybe it'll happen before, but if it doesn't, I won't, but I'll feel like it. Anyway, it's incredibly positive. Will Merrick Garland charge 45 with inciting the insurrection? Breakthrough says yes. The opening reversed says there's a darkening, something is dying. It's the GOP. Failure to face up to what's happening equals death and loss. That's theirs. And back to the Democrats. Fertility, harvest, 1 year. And you can't push it. Even Ralph Blum says you can't pull the shoot that's coming out of the soil. It's gonna be ready in its own time, and most likely 1 year. So we may have to wait that long. I hope you found this a little bit interesting, and I hope I took some of the mystery out of it. But most importantly, start playing, because I did this years ago, and I think these were a gift. I don't remember. But these runes, I've told a story about. These particular ones, when I'm handling. My dear, very, very, very best friend, 6 years ago, got a cancer diagnosis, and she ended up dying of cancer, and it metastasized. It was very awful, and she suffered terribly. And she was about an hour and a half's drive from where I live. She was staying with her mother. And I woke up one morning at 4 a.m. and it said, get dressed and get down to Orange County. So I didn't make a phone call. I didn't do anything. I got dressed and I got down to Orange County in about an hour and 15 minutes, pulled up, and her niece walked out of the condominium and said, what are you doing here? How did you know? And I said, know what? And she said, Karen just passed like 10 minutes ago. So, that was my left ear. That were my guides waking me up and telling me, get down there. And So I really didn't want to walk into her room, but her mother insisted, go sit with her. I really didn't want to, but there I was, sitting in the room alone with her, and she was gone. So I sat there and I said, Karen, what do you want me to have? What do you want me to take? There were DVDs and books and all kinds of things in the room. And I turned around like this, and I see this on her shelf, and I took it. And I said, oh my goodness. Oh, I'm looking for something. There it is. So inside was a postcard, and I opened it. And it was bookmarked into the rune of strength, upright. And I turned it around, and this is from the planetarium in Chicago, which is where we were friends. And I had given it to her many years ago as a gift. And it was still in here. And these were the runes I gave her. So these runes are magical. They actually have magic. So that's the story. Now I will be back with politics in a day or two. You got a little hit here. I'm awfully excited about this reading. And thank you for your notes and comments. And you know, like 99 3/4 of them are all really great. And I get such a good feeling from reading things and people just saying, hi, so glad to see you. And I'll just tell you, I think it was a man wrote me. I have to find it because I'm starting to collect great messages that I get from you guys and put them in a separate document. And I didn't do it with this, so I have to find it. But somebody wrote me, I think you're one of the best people on the entire internet. You know, like, now come on, that's a great compliment, right? With my little less than 5,000 subscribers, but I got some more subscribers this week, so just keep asking your friends. And also, I need to expand, and I know that. I need to go live, and I need to work out how I invite people to share screens. So I'm working on that, but I'm all alone. You know, some people have relatives or friends who know how to do this stuff. I really don't. I've got to really be scrappy and find out how to do this. I wish I had a helper, but I really don't. Anyway, make peace, make memories. I do not have a quote today, but I'll be back with quotes, okay? Bye-bye.